ground now! On the ground, get back now! Shots fired! Shots fired!
We pay taxes for the police in order to protect and serve, but little do we know, quite the contrary is happening. The purpose of this video is to detail the different types of power abuse that police can experience when trying to enforce the law. These can range from minor, almost unnoticeable things to just straight, outright, unjust, violent behavior that should not be tolerated by anybody. In this instance of minor power abuse, the officer zooms past at a dangerous speed and makes an unsafe lane change. His reasoning? To buy groceries. The officer rudely dismisses the citizen's request to get his badge number so he could report the officer's wrongdoing. He tries to say that he has a call he is trying to get to, but doesn't seem in too much of a rush.
Excuse me, officer. Might I ask for your name and badge number?
What's that?
Might I ask for your name and badge number?
Why is that?
I just would like to know. Please?
I'm heading to a call. I don't have time to mess with you.
Well, you're required, no?
So what was going through this officer's mind? Probably, who's going to stop me from speeding? I'm the one who enforces the law. Who's going to stop me? The police? In this next example, a civilian is following a marked police officer who is observed doing well over the speed limit and decides to give him a piece of his mind. Listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, I do. You're driving 56 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone without any warning lights. That's completely unsafe.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm the police.
Well, that's great. You have to follow the laws just like everyone else.
Okay.
So,
what do you want to do?
I want you to drive the speed limit. Looks like, who's this person in front of you?
That's my wife.
Okay. Why is she driving equally the speed and why is nobody getting pulled over?
It was pretty funny to see the officer being the one getting pulled over rather than a civilian in this case. As you could tell, the officer wasn't too happy about it. In this article, Salon reports a disturbing fact. More often than not, cops have been using their power to go through databases for their own personal reasons, such as stalking potential love interests or just looking up people and their personal lives in general. The punishment for this is generally minor discipline or no discipline at all. On a separate note, although the concept of police lying to you may seem corrupt and unjust, it's actually perfectly legal.
I don't want to see you go to jail, but you gotta be smart. If you take my advice, I'll be able to help you out.
Officers are not there to act as your advocate. Their job is to find, arrest, and help convict you. According to court cases, police can lie about having physical evidence, having eyewitnesses, recording your conversation, having accomplices' confessions, lying about what will happen to other people, and especially lying about wanting to help you out.
Stand right here for me. Now you got two choices. You can make this better or worse for yourself. Now if you cooperate, it's going to make things a lot easier on you. Now if you don't, I'm going to call up a K9 unit and those dogs are going to rip apart your car and they're going to find what you're hiding.
This line that the officer says can actually lead to another form of police power abuse. This next video comes from ex-sheriff Barry Cooper, who explains exactly how canines can give a false positive, allowing police to get into your car whenever they want, even if there is no drugs. Mr. Cooper gives his explanation in a chef suit. Why? I have no clue, to tell you the truth.
The canine thinks he's finding a toy that he's psycho about. He will do anything to get to his toy. Unscrupulous narcotic detector dog handlers have learned this. And they can, through voice commands, cause their canine to false alert. Yeah. Good dog. That's called a false positive. It's clear and plain to see there are no narcotics there. Now watch, she'll continue getting the dog to alert, talking the dog into alerting. Those are the same words we use when we're bringing the scratch drive out in our narcotic detector dog.
Our next clip details yet another injustice. Police officers can arrest who they want, depending on whether they want to simply enforce the law or not. Equal justice is definitely not getting served. Our officer is initially called the service in order to track down a runaway girl.
Sure.
Sure.
When I
No,
got
you watch
badge
what you
and that
say. You
uniform,
watch
you
what you
ain't-
say. You watch what you say,
ain't
kid.
watching
I don't
that.
know who you think you talking to, but first
Shit.
of all, you don't talk to me like
Yeah,
that.
alright.
You understand that?
I'm not no
here to
kid.
help you. Ma'am, if we find her, she's gonna be arrested for criminal damage. Did she hit you today?
Fuck you mean? Put your
Here.
As soon as I put my hands on your punk ass, I know how it's gonna go.
I'm not even gonna take you to jail. I'll give you the freedom of that.
Man, you a goddamn liar.
You wanna put one or two?
Shit.
Really? I call you out here for my purpose, and you
Yeah.
and my son are, come on now, really.
Well, first of all, your son's got a fucking mouth on him.
Yes, I know he does.
Yep,
I know he
and
does.
now I can see why your daughter's acting all out of control.
Thank you.
So first of all, discipline needs to be an issue.
no-
All right, dude, I'm done with you, dude. If you ain't gonna throw hands, then shut the fuck up.
I
That's
can't
it.
talk
Bring
about
your
neither
bitch
one of
ass
y'all.
over here and touch me one more
If you ain't gonna,
Oh,
if you ain't gonna fucking throw hands, fucking do something. Yeah. Did I not just touch you? Huh? Did I not just touch you? He's good. Don't do it. Don't do it.
the rookie started first. Oh, see, that's all bad.
You alright? Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
He's good. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So what the fuck?
Done?
You pussy bitch.
Alright.
Run your
alright.
fucking mouth.
Hold on, what the fuck?
Done?
Don't arrest him. Don't arrest him.
What the fuck? See, I thought it was gonna be a one-on-one. What type of shit was that?
My partner didn't fucking do nothing.
Man, you
pussy ass bitch. Fuck you.
Man, what's up?
You scared.
What's up?
You got
Done?
these hands.
I'm
You scared.
I'm scared, huh? I'm
We're
scared.
done. We're done.
We ain't done.
We're done.
People are generally two-sided on this issue. Either they feel that the officer was fair and that he let them have a fist fight and he didn't do anything, or they feel that's assault and that he's provoking the child, which, by the way, this is a minor that he is fighting. However, as stated before, the real issue at hand is that he's not equally serving justice under the law. In other words, he has the freedom of choosing who this law gets enforced upon and who he wants to arrest.
Escort her in there to get her clothes where you can watch her.
This issue initially stems from a girl who wants to get her belongings before she's kicked out.
Look, man, I got other things I need to do than babysit you two. It's you too. Yeah, it is. You won't let her get her clothes. You're part of the problem. What's your name? Your name? You need to give me your name. If you don't, I'm going to arrest you for obstruction.
I don't need to give you my name.
Because I asked you to. I'm doing a case. She's called me over here. I'm on a case. Because I'm probably going to end up doing theft charges on her behalf for your clothes. So you need to give me your name. Give me your name. Hey, turn around. You're under arrest.
Oh!
Damn! What the hell, bro?
The injustice here is obvious. The officer uses excessive force and doesn't even try to take him down by hand, rather using a taser to let this man know he's under arrest. The officer later claims that he told this man he was under arrest with warning before using the taser. I must warn you, these next few examples are quite graphic. If this is a problem to you, please step outside now. This is the story of Walter Scott, a 50-year-old African American who was stopped initially for a broken taillight. What you're about to witness is the aftermath of struggling for a taser. The victim is unremorsely shot to death, simply for fleeing, unarmed, simply because the officer's taser didn't work on him. What you're about to witness is the excessive force applied to a man in Vallejo as an officer struggles to put him in handcuffs. The injustice, even after the situation is contained and the individual is put in handcuffs, the beating continues.
He gave up, man. He gave up, man. Hey, we good, baby. Hey, man, he fucking gave up, man. Police ain't real. They're not real. Police brutality. Why you still hitting, man? There they go.
The most sickening part about this is the officer still remains on duty, according to SF Gate.
You have your license and insurance?
The final example I'm about to show you is the shooting of Philando Castile, an African American man who had no criminal history and also was permitted to carry a firearm.
I do have a firearm on me.
Don't reach for it then.
Don't
pull it out.
Don't
pull it out. Don't pull it out!
great. Get the baby girl out of here. Oh, fuck.
Castile's wife then starts a Facebook Live to broadcast this injustice to the world.
Stay with me. We got pulled over for a busted tail light in the back. And the police just, he's covered. They killed my boyfriend. He's licensed, he's licensed to carry. He was trying to get out his ID and his wallet out his pocket, and he let the officer know that he had a firearm and he was reaching for his wallet, and the officer just shot him in his arm. We're waiting for a back. I will, sir. No worries. I will. He just shot his arm off. We got pulled over on Larpener.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out of it.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
Upon looking at Castile's driving record, questions about racial profiling have been raised due to the fact that over the last 10 years he has been stopped more than 31 times, all over minor infractions that were eventually dismissed in court, at least most of them. According to an estimate by the local NAACP, 80 to 90% of the people pulled over there are either of African American or Native American descent. The vast majority of them cited for simple, minor infractions. This brings me to the attention of the Black Lives Matter movement, a movement made to help build local power and intervene in violence inflicted on the black communities, predominantly by local and state powers. This test was performed in a state where openly carrying firearms is legal. Note the difference between how police interact with the white person versus the black person.
How you doing, sir?
Hey.
Howdy.
Can I see your IDs?
No, sir. No.
Why not?
You guys don't have to. I'm not doing any crime.
Okay. Any particular reason why you're carrying the AR especially around at this point?
I'm just exercising my right.
I understand that, but is there a reason why you're doing it?
I just want to walk around. Oh, of course.
He pulled out the gun. He's getting down. He's just walking up and carrying.
Unfortunately, this is the harsh reality that we live in. Generally, the officer is the one with the gun, aka the power to take your life, for a plethora of reasons that he can easily get away with. Let's compare and contrast what you should and shouldn't do in the best interest of preserving your rights and also not having something unjust occur to you.
Good evening, officer. How's it going?
Did you know you were swerving between lanes?
No, officer.
Let me see your license and registration.
Sure.
Yeah, I know the drill, man.
Keeping calm and cool can help prevent any suspicions that the officers have of you doing anything wrong or any reason that he should feel threatened.
Now, Darren, for the attitude there, bro. We've had some problems with gangs moving guns down this highway. Looking out for your safety and everyone else's on this road. You're not packing any Tech 9s, are you?
No, sir.
Okay.
I didn't think
Step out of the vehicle for me. So you don't mind if I take a look, do you?
Officer, I know you're just doing your job.
Turn around and put your hands in the air. Turn around and put your
whatever,
hands in the air.
But I don't consent to
Walk
searches.
forward. Walk forward. You a law student?
Hands
or
on
something?
the hood.
You seem nervous.
Hands
on the hood of the car. Is there anything in this car I need to know about?
No, officer.
Spread your legs.
What are you doing, man?
Relax. All right. Please step out of the vehicle.
I didn't do anything.
Relax.
God, I didn't do anything.
You got a bad attitude. Walk back here with me. Now, I pulled you over because you were swerving between lanes. That's all. Stand right here for me. Now, you got two choices. You can make this better or worse for yourself. Now, if you cooperate, it's going to make things a lot easier on you.
This is exactly what we discussed earlier, about the police being able to legally lie to you in order to hopefully gain your consent.
Now, if you don't, I'm going to call up a K9 unit, and those dogs are going to rip apart your car, and they're going to find what you're hiding. So what's it going to be?
Officer, are you detaining me, or am I free to go?
All right. You want to play it like that? You want to bump it up to the next level? Fine. You stay right here. Don't go anywhere. This is a citation for excessive lane change. For excessive lane changing.
Notice that the main difference between these two encounters is the citizen's attitude. In acting calmer and cooler and generally more friendly towards the officer, he avoided potential harm to himself and got his encounter over with much quicker. Next time you encounter with the police, please keep these in mind. Thanks for watching.